Now, India records 1,68,063 new COVID cases today, 6.4% lower than yesterday. The Omicron tally in India also climbed to 4,461 cases. The country also reported 277 deaths in the last 24 hours due to coronavirus. Now, amid this COVID surge, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding a meeting today with the chief ministers at 4 p.m. over the COVID situation in the country. And even the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will address a press conference on the COVID preparedness at noon today. Yesterday, Delhi's Disaster Management Authority had decided not to impose a lockdown but had imposed some restrictions on restaurants. In fact, the Indian Council of Medical Research has issued a new advisory for COVID testing, detailing who should get tested after coming in contact with a COVID patient. And ICMR has also said that if you're not a high-risk contact based on your age or comorbidity, you do not need to get tested after exposure to a COVID patient. Now, people undertaking the interstate domestic travel also don't need to take the COVID test after exposure. In fact, testing has also not been advised for asymptomatic individuals. However, ICMR has advised testing if you are at risk contact age above 60 years or are comorbid and have come in contact with a COVID patient. Symptomatic people are required to undergo testing after exposure. Also, the ICMR has said that testing can be done through RT-PCR, rapid molecular testing systems, or through rapid antigen tests. Now, I have with me on the broadcast Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who is the chairman of Nephron Clinic. Dr. Bagai, thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is an important development when it comes to testing, because we are seeing more and more people taking those COVID test kits and testing themselves at home. Reports from Maharashtra and the state of Karnataka saying that people are not reporting if in case they are in fact testing positive. Now, ICMR guidelines, there are fresh guidelines about the kind of testing that is required and who actually goes ahead requires to get tested. Your take on this, sir?
So I think in a period of time, as the numbers surge and the people will keep getting themselves tested, there is going to be a supply and demand niche gap. There is no doubt in it. US is already facing it. UK is already facing it. So having said that, when you're coming to the testing part, I think we should have a very judicious mix between rapid antigen tests, what we call as lateral flow RAT, and RT-PCR. The recent reports, worldwide literature has shown the rapid antigen tests have shown to have 99% sensitivity in the nasal swab. It is very easy to do, it is cost effective, extremely cheap, and within 25 to 30 minutes you get a report. Plus you pick up a person who's at the infectious most about a day earlier than what RT-PCR can pick up. The second thing is, I think we should not clamp down the testing, because the only way to actually pick up patients is through testing. Again, global figures have shown that more than 30 to 35 adults are asymptomatic, and about 49% of children are asymptomatic. So asymptomatic carriers can actually transmit as much as the symptomatic carriers. Children can transmit as much as adults, and most of the children are asymptomatic. So I think we need to liberalize the testing. Right. The important part over here is the guidelines and protocols to capture the data. Now, people are buying this from chemists over the counter. I think those records must be obtainable so that we can know who's picked up which kind of test. There has to be a moral responsibility of the citizens to report positive tests. Otherwise, really, we will not be able to capture the epidemiological profile, the spread, the hot spots, so to say, where the infections are burning.
Right, Dr. Bagai, I really want to understand this, because if the ICMR is going ahead dissuading certain population from testing, how are the checks and balances supposed to be maintained here? Because they need to, in any case, get themselves isolated even if the testing is not happening.
Yeah, so it is well known that an RT-PCR in the first 1 or 2 days can come negative. At the best of times, the RT-PCR has a sensitivity of 67 to 83%. So there is a given small segment of population in which you can miss the test. Therefore, liberalization of testing and repeated testing is extremely important. We've seen this from the studies in UK, the REACT study, the SAGE studies, which have actually shown repeated RAT testing has picked up cases. So I think I'm a very strong advocate that testing should be liberalized. More we test, more we pick up, earlier we isolate, earlier we can contain.
Also, Dr. Bagai, at risk, who are the at-risk people? Is it restricted to only people who are above 60 and are comorbid, or there is another definition for the at-risk population?
Yeah, so at-risk is not only age-wise. So age is an important comorbid factor because we call this as medically as something what we call as immunoaging. So after the age of 60, your B cells and T cells are what we running populations or what we call as exhausted cells or a lesser number of cells. Otherwise, all age groups, patients with comorbids such as cancer patients, immunosuppressant therapy, people who are having organ transplants, on dialysis, chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease. Children also have comorbid conditions. So I think children also need to be identified as comorbid cohorts. Obesity is a very important factor. Hypertension, diabetes, chronic asthma, these are all comorbid factors which need acute attention.
Also, Dr. Bagai, since this new guideline also mentions symptomatic and asymptomatic people. Now, when it comes to symptomatic, are we looking for symptoms which are very, very significant, what we saw while the Delta variant was at its peak, or we are looking for some different symptoms with the Omicron surge?
Very varied. You can have pulmonary symptoms, which are not that common just now for the time being at present, what we have seen with Omicron. But otherwise, it's upper respiratory symptoms like scratchy throat, stickiness in the throat, mild cold and cough, runny nose, low-grade fever or moderate-grade fever, body ache, headache, not too much of skin manifestations. But children are having a lot of gastrointestinal symptoms still. A lot of them are presenting with abdominal pain, with vomiting, with loose motions, just a mild cold, with no other symptoms. In fact, fever is not an overriding symptom. So I think we need to have a very high index of suspicion. It is better to test many more and get them negative than to miss one positive.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Bagai, for joining me on the broadcast.